How's it going, everyone? Got a couple of updates to go over in this video. Assassin's Creed Valhalla's upcoming free DLC might be a pretty reasonably sized DLC, as we've got some trophies confirmed for it. Again, this is the Forgotten Saga. It is a free piece of DLC. We'll talk about that. Speaking of Ubisoft, there's a Ubisoft game you can play for free right now until August the 3rd. We'll talk about that briefly. And Sony is discontinuing a low-key PlayStation 5 feature. We'll talk that briefly at the end of this video. Given that it's so low-key, and a lot of you guys probably didn't utilize it, we'll mention that at the end. But Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting a free piece of DLC. This is the Forgotten Saga DLC. It's adding a bit of a roguelite layer to the game, so it's a pretty interesting gameplay premise. Now, you don't need to have any other piece of DLC to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You just have to have the game, and the game is available through PlayStation Plus Extra, so a lot of you guys can play the game that way. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla's The Forgotten Saga's trophies have also been detailed, and it's actually a pretty sizable amount of content by the looks of it. It's got 9 different trophies, and a lot of them are pretty typical stuff. You know, defeating specific enemies with specific abilities or having specific things equipped, etc., etc. But this is a free piece of DLC, but at the same time, I do have to give Ubisoft credit, even though the Assassin's Creed games really haven't been up my alley since Assassin's Creed Origins came out. They do a good job of continually updating the game. My issue, obviously, I think the games have... It's a case of the games literally having too much content, and to me, some of the content feels a little bit bland and meaningless. I did really enjoy Valhalla's setting, and that really drew me into the game, but I wasn't engaged enough to, you know, completely finish the game and everything like that. Valhalla was still a game that, you know, I had some fun with. It's just, these games aren't the types of games that I get super immersed into. But again, whenever I talk about Assassin's Creed, I always come across it, talking about it like I'm kind of down on it, and I personally am down on it, but at the same time, let me tell you guys, I have friends that love Assassin's Creed. They played Odyssey, they played Origins, they played Valhalla, and these games just do it for them. So much like me, where the old style Assassin's Creed games just did it for me, they were the styles of games that I really enjoy. For some of my buddies, these are the games that they just can't stop playing, and these are the games for them, and I'm sure for a lot of you guys, these are the games for you as well. I mean, I even had a friend that recently played Odyssey, and he ended up buying the double XP boost, which I was, like, so depressed over, because that's just gonna make Ubisoft incorporate things like that in future games. So yes, he is a part of the problem, but nonetheless, a lot of people do really enjoy the new style Assassin's Creed games, and for Forgotten Saga, it looks like you're getting a sizable piece of free DLC here. Speaking of free, For Honor, another Ubisoft original title, is getting a free week. Now, this kicked off back on July 28th, just getting around to mentioning it now just because it came to my radar recently, but it is going to be available for a couple more days, so if you have any interest in playing For Honor, you can jump on that right now, and it'll be play for free until August the 3rd. The game notes: enter the chaos of war as a bold knight, brutal Viking, or deadly samurai, 3 of the greatest warriors of legend masters sword and fight in brutal, fast-paced melee combat across an engaging story campaign and groundbreaking multiplayer modes. You can start your download right now, available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So go ahead and check that out if you are interested. I mean, For Honor's been around since 2017, but it's another game that Ubisoft has done a pretty good job in keeping it updated. Obviously, a while ago, we had the Marching Fire expansion. Never was really my cup of tea as well, but again, another game that does have a engaged player base. At least the people that do play it seem to really enjoy it, so that you can check out for free as well until August the 3rd. And lastly, I do want to note, Sony is discontinuing the use of PlayStation accolades. Now, PlayStation accolades was a system where you would get awards by being generally just a good person in online video games. There were 3 different accolades: helpful, welcoming, and good sport. With these accolades, you got profile badges, and they were across a plethora of multiplayer titles, and again, it was essentially to positively influence online gaming and multiplayer experiences. We all know how that works out. If you guys play League of Legends, it's all about being toxic a-holes, but nonetheless, it was nice in premise, but were people really utilizing it? It didn't seem like it, and it's not like it was something that people were really racing after, getting these helpful awards, welcoming awards, or good sport awards. Good sport was like positive, honorable, respectful. Welcoming was accepting of others, open and friendly, and then helpful was generous, effective communicator, and team-oriented. Welcoming really hits home with me because when I used to play League of Legends a lot, yeah, people weren't that welcoming. It was more of a, yo, after this game, you better go uninstall this as soon as possible. And let's be real, I had a bit of toxicity in me as well back in high school when I was playing a lot of League. But nonetheless, sometimes online gaming can get pretty wild, especially if you grew up during like the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies those days. Like, we'll hear about things being toxic nowadays in a plethora of games. Man, back in, like, the late 2000s, early 2010s, it was really the Wild West when it came to online gaming. Especially, like, the late 2000s, it was just absolute insanity, and, you know, it probably should be a little bit better, but I'm sure some of you guys grew up during that era as well. So, accolades, not something a lot of people were utilizing, and it is going to be done away with, according to Siliconera. So, you know, it is what it is, but are people going to bat an eyelash about this? Probably not, but I wanted to make you guys aware of that. But that is going to do it for me. Again, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, looking to get a piece of DLC that looks to be relatively sizable. You know, at some point, I feel like I have to get into one of these Assassin's Creed games that come out. I know the next one is still a ways away, but really just try to 100% that game, because I know that they put a lot of content into these games, and I know a lot of people really do enjoy it. It's just sometimes, like, I'll play them for 15-20 hours, and then I'll just, like, lose interest in them. That's really what happened to me in Odyssey, and Odyssey's a game that I really want to revisit and give it another chance to, so we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, I don't want to get to this point where I'm playing these games for 15 hours, then I stop playing them for a while, then I jump back into them for 15 hours again, or 10-15 hours, and then I take a break from them again. I like to play these games, usually these lengthier games, from start to finish, so I can, like, experience it all, especially the narrative aspect, in one go. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. But nonetheless, DLC does look like you're getting a sizable amount of content for free. And also, For Honor, Ubisoft Original Free Week, that'll be running until August the 3rd, and Sony is discontinuing the accolades feature, so take that as what you will. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, you can sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.